let's go ahead and get started. There's Mildred. Okay, well, welcome everyone to the first WiVLA meeting of 2023. Be gentle with me. This is my first one.
I thought you had
we
one
always
already.
we always open with the reading of the mission statement. Mildred, would you like to read that for us?
Sure. WiVLA's mission is to provide an inspiring forum for women to explore and advance their creative development, to promote their work in the marketplace, and to infuse the community with their spirit of cooperation and invention.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. At this time, we would normally welcome guests and new members. I'm looking at the list, though. I do not see any guests or new members. A friend of mine just joined yesterday, and I expected her here. She's not here yet, though. So, oh well. I would ask that everyone update your portfolios on the website. Most of you have, but it always helps at the beginning of the year to just go in there and check and see what you have posted there. You might want to refresh it with more current work or leave it as is. So I would just ask you to go there and look at it. Hi, Gladys.
Hi.
Marie, would you like to give us a report on our visual art happenings?
Yes, I have 3 items. We need one more visual artist for the March, April gallery, virtual gallery. So if anybody is interested, let me know. I'll put my email in the chat so we can communicate and I can give you all the details. The next item is our closing reception at Lee College. Will be on the 7th, next month on the 7th, from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Also, we will be announcing the theme for our 2023 juried exhibit. And we had talked about perhaps opening it to non-WiVLA artists, or we're still in discussion about that. So we'll have all the details in March.
Yes. And I really would like to emphasize, if you have any chance, I realize Tuesday afternoon driving out to Baytown is not convenient for a lot of people, but if you have a chance, a lot of the students at the college will be at that closing reception. And they're going to ask all the artists at some point during the reception to stand up and let students ask questions of those particular artists. So she's looking forward to that. And our very own Gladys May Bullock will be speaking for about 20 minutes or so.
So we could probably do some carpooling. I mean,
that would be great.
Yeah, makes the trip go faster or seem faster.
That would be good. I would like to do that. If you would like to carpool with someone, reach out, just send a note to, well, info@wivla.org is probably the best one. And I realize my picture is freezing, but as long as y'all can still hear me, it's okay. Okay. And Ellen did not know if she would be able to make it here in time, so I'll give the literary arts announcement. First of all, Poetry by the Bay is coming up. This will be year number 6, April 22nd at the LaPorte Library from 11 to 1 p.m. Gladys, is there anything you have to add to that right now?
No, we got it set, and there'll be refreshments, and they're looking to receive us again, so they're excited about the event. They're excited about us coming out.
All right, cool. And we'll be sending out more information of that and chances to sign up to read as the time gets closer. Okay, and in fact, Ellen and Fern Brady, one of our meetings, and she's also involved with the Houston Writers Guild, are meeting right now. There will be a new literary competition that WiVLA and the Houston Writers Guild are co-sponsoring. And I have no more details about that yet. Just wanted to let y'all know that is on the horizon. We are planning great things for all of us. So keep your ears open for more information on that. Sabina, there you are. Would you like to mention anything about newsletter?
Mainly for the members here, if you're not already aware, but I'm sure you all are, because you all just devour the newsletter every month when it comes through on your email. But there is a section where members can add information about let's say non-WiVLA activities, like shows or exhibitions they're part of, prizes they've won, events they're going to either be, going to or performing at or participating in. I'm trying to think, or perhaps other organizations that you're a part of where maybe they may have a very interesting, what's it called, class or seminar or workshop that you think members would like. Those can all be included in the newsletter that, of course, then gets sent out to our entire mailing list. And in order to get some information into the newsletter, you need to email it to newsletter@wivla.org by the 20th of the month for it to be included in the newsletter for the following month. So if you want a piece of information included for the February newsletter, it needs to be sent in by January 20th. And again, that email address is newsletter@wivla.org.
Thank you, Sabina. Okay, now we come to the exciting program, our Circle of Five, and I will let Margot introduce that.
Okay, great. Before I introduce it, I did want to make everyone aware that we have a fantastic program next month. It's being done by Carrie Carter. She also goes by Carrie Ringwald when she's the keyboardist for Molly and the Ringwalds, a group that does cover songs from the 80s. So Carrie is a lot of fun. She has written, I call it an adventure travelogue, about taking her cat, a character who takes her cat to Japan. And then half the book is from the voice of Audrey, the main character, and then the other half is through the voice of the cat. And it's really delightful. It's being sold on Barnes & Noble, also Amazon. She's been on several different events to promote the book. But people think that it's a real book, that it really happened. So did this really happen? I mean, it's a cat that gets out and goes to like the tuna, where they sell tuna. And then he goes on this adventure to find another cat in a cat cafe. She's like, no, how could it possibly be real? But anyway.
Of course it's real. What's the name of the book, Margot?
Oh, Whiskers Abroad. Whiskers Abroad. It's a beautiful book. Carrie has been to Japan several times. And so her sister took all these photographs and then photoshopped her cat into many of these scenes from Japan. And then another thing is there's a lot of information if you ever decide to go to Japan about how to travel in Japan. So it's like using transportation, finding a place to stay. It's just so much fun. Carrie is a lot of fun too, so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so tonight, this is the first time we've done Circle of Five, on Zoom. How many people have been in the Circle of Five before? Okay, so yeah, so several people have done that. So I was in a Circle of Five many years ago, but I remember we got together in a group, and then everybody had a couple of minutes to tell us about, your art. And in addition, if you would like to share some information about WiVLA, we're interested in knowing, what brought you to WiVLA and what has WiVLA done for you, and especially what you would like for WiVLA to do in 2023 to help you on your, artistic journey. And so you can share that information after the Circle of Five. And I believe we will be in two circles of five. So we'll be in Circle of Five for, I think, like 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be taken to another room virtually. That sounds very ominous, but I don't think it's quite as scary as it sounds. Let's see.
Yeah, I'd like to, I'd like to mention, we have 18 people right now, so I have set up 4 rooms. Each room will have 4 to 5 people.
Okay.
And
good.
let's see. And once I hit open all rooms, it'll automatically move you to one of those rooms.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
and I have it set so to give everyone a chance to talk, since we aren't a whole lot of people, for the rooms to close automatically after 20 minutes. And that'll
Okay.
give everyone a chance to take a minute or two to talk about themselves, their own art, maybe 3 minutes, and then, to go to those 3 questions. After that 20 minutes, there will be a 10-second countdown to bring y'all back here, and then we will go to a second room.
And Margot, say the 3 questions again, please.
What got you to WiVLA in the first place? Why were you interested in WiVLA in the first place? Then what has WiVLA done for you to help you with your art? And then what would you like for WiVLA to do in 2023 to help you, along your journey? Like what kind of, well, we have the programs already scheduled for this year, which I think they're pretty fabulous. But we have one really cool studio visit planned in May, but we're still planning workshops. And so any kind of workshops that you would like, especially if you have a presenter in mind, yeah, you can share those. So anyway, should be fun.
And yes, and if the breakout rooms works the way Zoom told me it would work, after they start, I'll be able to send a text to each room with those 3 questions.
Oh, great.
Okay, is everyone ready?
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
It's so
Well,
exciting.
So we're all on a
Drum
slide.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, it says everyone is,
We're in a room.
no one's in a room yet. Oh, hold up. Okay,
Hang on.
No.
okay, I hit something wrong because I've got to assign the rooms. Okay, I'm assigning even as we speak.
It's like blind dates.
But
Wow. I don't think that was 20 minutes.
Wow, we went.
I swear it was 20
I
minutes.
have, right now I've got 19 minutes and 13 seconds.
Oh,
Flew by.
I'm sorry.
we-
Argue
did.
with Zoom.
we just
Yeah.
talked about ourselves. We didn't
That's
talk
what we
about
did too.
WiVLA.
We didn't get a chance to do a reading.
Okay,
Get
well,
something
then let's
wrong.
do it
I'm
one more
sorry.
time, and then we can talk about those 3 questions after.
Okay.
Well, we got
Altogether.
that out, but we were we went into a whole lot more.
Okay,
Bad thing.
all right, let's do it one more time.
Okay.
And hopefully
Sorry.
it'll mix and match everyone again.
It was fun.
Automatically.
Okay, we,
Oh, she,
Well, hi, Kathleen.
Hi.
My picture's not working.
Oh,
My
bummer.
internet is,
I just remembered
actually-
it was tonight. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
well, actually, everyone is in a breakout room right now.
Oh,
We
okay.
have, this is our Circle of Five meeting. And everyone is in groups of 4 to 5 people each. And they're just, everyone's just talking about their art to everyone else.
Okay. So what would, I can drop back off, or is there a way to get into one, or what works?
I can certainly add you to one. Okay, let me just figure out how to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for
Here.
trying. Awesome.
Okay, here goes. Hi, Rona.
Hi. I forgot. I was like
Well,
resting and I forgot.
that's okay. Everyone is in a breakout room right now. We're
Yeah, I
doing our
know.
Circle of Five. Okay,
know.
so you want me to just drop you in one of the rooms?
Sure.
Okay. All right, here, let me assign you to,
I'm still
well,
here.
I moved me to the room, not you, so let me do it again.
yes. Okay.
Well,
It's
hi.
stage and some
hello.
out and just
Hello.
yanks you right out, you know?
Okay, so was the second one as fun as the first one?
Well, I didn't get a chance to read yet.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
right.
First or
Well,
second
we have
time.
time.
Too much.
Okay, we have time for one more and then talk about the questions, or we can just have a long discussion about the questions. Would y'all like to do one more?
Let's,
I'd
no,
I'd
let's
rather
go to
move on to questions, but that's just me, but maybe people want to do another one. I don't know.
I
Well,
say
I
let's
like
do
to go with
questions. I vote for questions also.
Yeah, I'll go with questions too.
Okay, so let me end that breakout room thing. Okay, cool. All right. So our first question. Why did you come to WiVLA? What brought you to WiVLA? Anyone?
Fellow artists, I needed them around me to energize me. I was missing. I was lonely for creative minds. And I needed that. I was drying up. I was drying up.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer, Gladys.
Mhm.
I second that. Oh,
I joined WiVLA way back. Jerry, I don't know. You're a really old member too.
Long time member.
I'm old.
Long time.
Long-term member. I don't even remember, except that Carlene Cohen was still like president, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so what brought you to WiVLA?
Well, I'm a joiner for one thing, but I was looking for organization, fellow artists to possibly share resources
Mhm.
and places to show and development.
Okay,
And
Cool.
you know, that's why I came to them originally.
gotcha.
I was volunteering for Photo Fest and bumped into Martha Scoe, who is one of the founders. And I just got into Houston, and Martha said, "Oh, you would probably be interested in this group." And so I joined, and yes, I was.
I haven't, my husband's listening to TV in the background. Is that too loud? Can y'all hear it?
No.
No.
Okay. Good. I joined because I knew so many people and I wanted some of that energy to enter
See?
my life right then,
Mhm.
you know, so I wanted to be an artist and a writer,
Mhm.
and I was.
Oh, and I have to say, when we have readings or do the collaboration,
Those.
I am always blown away by
Yeah.
the talent of everybody, you know.
Yes.
We seem to be a high caliber group. And then I get proud that I'm part of it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I wanted to join another group. A friend of mine had referred me to someone, and that was belonged to a group of artists in the Heights. And she didn't want me to join her little group. And she said,
Oh.
we're talking on the phone, and she says, well, I mean, there's other groups out there like WiVLA and blah 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 blah. And I just scratched that down and then Googled it, and it came up, and it was November of 2016. And so it was like the week before the last meeting of the year. And so I went, and it was a great meeting. It was the woman that is she the director of the Fourth Wall?
Oh, yeah.
Kim Tobin
Yeah,
Neal.
Diane.
Yes. I was hooked. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Other answers?
Well, I joined
Any other answers?
I joined
Oh,
way
yes,
back when
Mildred.
Carlene Cohen was president. And I joined because I had decided that I might want to read might want to write some. And she was actually teaching a session at Rice University, and I was in that session. And she said, I love your work. Said, I'd love for you to come and join this group. So here I am. And then I moved away from Houston, and I was paying dues, but inactive. And so Melody called me or sent me a note and said, I'd love for you to be on the board. And I thought, Lord, I'm so busy. But I thought, sure, because I don't know how to say no. So here I am.
And it was such a well-written email message,
Oh, yes, it was.
I was recruited by Gretchen.
Yes.
Mildred, do
it-
you still live out of Houston?
Yes, I live in Atlanta.
Oh, my
Oh.
goodness. Well, and I was recruited by Louisa Smith and Donna Perkins, whom I met through playwriting workshops at U of H. And they said, oh, you should come to this group. And of course, Kay dragged her feet. I dragged my feet. But I came as a guest. I didn't join, I came as a guest several times. Once you come, you're hooked, right? Then I finally paid my dues. And I've been a happy member since, and glad I'm in the energy of the group.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. There is some good energy.
I think I played a big part in my joining because we were in a writing group together. And,
I was on
they
the
had
board
just
with
started the
Lane.
Archway readings.
Yeah.
I was on the board with Lane and with Jane Mulholland was president.
Yeah.
I was historian.
Yes, I was there
and
with Jane.
teacher.
Yes.
there too. Yeah.
And Catherine, remember Catherine? She was the president, and Jane Mulholland and Corey. It's been a long time.
So I think
yeah.
Jane Mulholland was the
Mulholland.
membership director when I joined, and I was having a problem with, I don't know if it was my computer or the WiVLA website, but I joined 3 times.
Wow.
So it was like,
Wow. You were
I did get a
determined.
couple of those back, but yeah.
Wow.
I told her, I said, but you could tell I really wanted to join.
That's good. That's good.
We used
Darlene,
to
I
have
don't
board
know
meetings
you.
in person at just like the Archway. It was a real, 6 o'clock you had to go fight the traffic to get to those places.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I don't miss that.
But the nice thing, when I first joined the board, some of us would go to dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Really, and being secretary was a great way to learn people's names.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
Okay.
had to put them in the minutes.
Yep. What has WiVLA done for you on your own artistic journey?
Got me a studio.
Hmm.
I think the opportunity to collaborate with
Mhm.
visual artists. That's been tremendous. And
Yes.
also the opportunities to read things that I've written in a safe, caring place, you know, with people who are very supportive. That's been tremendous.
Oh. Mhm.
All writers and artists are kind of risk takers. And, you know, I've met such kindness and
Mhm.
what do I want to say? I mean, you know, support.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I think we all need that. Or
Encouragement.
I do. Let me say I.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That's true for me too. The encouragement and the support, and especially with Melody.
Mhm.
Could not have done my first reading if she had not encouraged me to read. So thank you, Melody.
I'm glad. I'm so glad.
She
You almost had me in
introduced us.
tears on that first set of readings.
Yeah, me too with Melody. She supported me at my very first talk about my new book about sexual abuse, and it was at
Oh,
Magpies and Peacocks.
Ah.
And
Oh.
because they work with people that have been in domestic violence and trafficking situations.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
That was a good meeting.
Melody was there, yay.
Yeah, well, this was a special thing that she had there.
Oh, I
She-
know, but it was a good meeting when they came. I never had heard of that group.
Yeah, I need to take
before,
some
and
stuff
so when
there.
they spoke, that was great.
Hmm.
I've been telling people about their groups sometimes and about that they'll take, I still haven't gotten stuff over there, but they talked about taking donations of old clothing and reusing them.
Oh.
It
Mhm.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
That's another thing I like about WiVLA. I mean, you know, we like them, Magpies and Peacocks, and Art for All Homes. And, you know,
Art
just,
for All
I mean,
Homes,
just
that's
kind of
right.
expanding our knowledge of things,
Mhm.
you know, in art or around the city or the country. And, you know, it's been so informative.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Learning a lot.
Remember, with the woman who
It's
wrote
given me a very safe place to play with my literary side. I never even knew I had a literary side until after I joined WiVLA.
really.
And so I will always be thankful for
Mhm.
that.
I would echo that too, Gretchen, and particularly when I participated in my first collaboration, it was the Windows exhibit, what, 6 or 8 years ago, I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I had no idea how to be a collaborator, but I had a wonderful partner, Jen Siegel, and she has not been active recently, but we met and we talked through the theme and we wrote so many things down and we made our art and we wrote, you know, I wrote the piece. It really expanded my artistic horizons, and it made me braver. I think
Mhm.
Yes.
knowing it was going to be an exhibit and we had deadlines, we had the prospectus to follow. It was all, you know, very rigorous, but it also made me brave and to do it. And I've enjoyed every collaboration since.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
have too.
Yeah.
I look forward. I guess that's why I was so. When I'm on something, I'm going to do it quickly. We talked about Lee College, and I wanted it to come this way, and I like the collab. I don't want anything to stop the collaborative efforts between the writers and the artists. And if we got it, I think it's just, and then we've got getting such great shows. The shows are so great, and the support and although I was afraid of Melody, I told you that. And so, but really, she is so sweet and so competent. I admire the fact
She looks mean,
that
that's all.
no, that she can do technology. No, I'm very in technology and how WiVLA has helped me. I am now on a very fast track to
being able to present my workshop, not just in Baytown, but throughout the city of Houston, because I have the workshop book that's that's done, that's completed. And those funds came through the ECHO fund, because it was a lot to get that. Typesetting is quite expensive, very detailed. And I just didn't have the money to do all that,
And what's your workshop on?
It's about self-discovery, And in fact, I'm almost about to sell out of tickets that which I'm going to have a second workshop, and I'll be on the radio promoting. It's been just phenomenal. But what happened, been able to get that workbook and been able to do my first workshop with WiVLA, which was a year comes this Saturday. It's like I've done 45-minute breakout sessions. I'm in person, but to be able to do a 3-hour, now I'm going to be probably 4 hours of lunch included in the ticket price. And people are just, oh yeah, I want it. And it's so good. It's just to have this support and knowing WiVLA, it was something I've been wanting to do, but didn't have the money, didn't have that in hand to move it forward. And when you have you have the finished product, and everybody okay, and then and it was able to. So I think it would have been an idea that would have taken some years to come into completion. That's
Cool.
Wow.
Anyone else? What has WiVLA done to help you in your own journey, your artistic journey?
Well, two of my favorite paintings are the 2 pieces I've done for the collaboration projects. It's just, there is no way these pieces would have been born without the teamwork, with teaming up with a writer, because there's and it was just incredible how they came together. I'm just so proud of those 2 pieces that I've done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
With Gretchen and the first time, and then with Ellen this past time. Just incredible.
Yeah, those collaboration experiences are special. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say too. They are special. It's the first time that I have been in a group of collaborators, and I really enjoyed working with Jerry. You learn patience. You learn how, it's like no, both ways.
Because of Jerry.
It's not both ways. It was really, it was just so interesting to work with another person and writing a poem, because neither one of us had done it with another person before. And so very exciting for me. And
Me too.
I'm trying to think of, this has helped me to come out of myself a little bit. And what I like about WiVLA is that you have social gatherings that are at various times and places. So if I can't make one thing, I can maybe get something. I'm not keen on going out at night anymore, or traveling, especially at night. So having a choice and things to do is really good for me. So I like that. And I hope we, as Gladys said, keep up the artist literary books at the end of the year. I think that's a wonderful thing to do. If you don't mind, I mentioned to Melody and the 2 groups that I was in, is that the books that you have, if
the catalogs that
you have, if you've never, I know you're on Amazon, but in order to sell books on Amazon, you need to advertise. I'm learning how to do that now. So if that's something that you would be interested in me sharing with the group, I'd be happy to do that once I get
and we've been kind of quiet about it. Ellen said something to me, and I thought I had confirmed this with Fern, and I haven't had a chance to get, I think I've emailed her, but I have not heard back from her. I thought the latest version that was on Amazon was the correct one. The one that had been uploaded I had called Ellen Seaton in one of them, Ellen Boutte, on the table of contents. I kind of like the sound of that, but anyway, she took exception to it and wanted a seat in both places on the table. Because she was in 2 different collaborations. So I'm waiting to hear back again from Fern, because she can get me the proofs. But I could have sworn I looked at the table of contents and it was right. So anyway, as soon as I feel confident in my heart that it's right, we're going to get more active about that.
I
That's it.
actually
Yes,
need an
but we will
extra
come to you, Beatrice.
I actually was gonna contact you because I need an extra catalog. Mine got wet. So
What is the catalog you're talking about?
At the
Yeah.
show, the
At the
collaboration.
show, the collaboration show.
yeah, I have the one,
Oh, I see what you mean. The book that we put out that's
Yeah.
called the
Mhm.
catalog.
Yeah.
Rona, I have some in my studio.
Yeah, I know. I meant to come by last time, but there was so many people last Saturday.
Well, I'll be there this Saturday too.
So I'll get to you. But yeah, I got one of the $1,000 when $1,000 did more than it does today.
Yeah.
It actually covered my airfare, my course, and my
That's
rental
what I'm
car
saying. Yeah.
to
Mhm.
go to Ghost Ranch back then. And that was in the beginning when I first started doing landscapes in watercolor.
Wow.
So
Okay, cool. Okay, next and last question. What can WiVLA do for you this year on your artistic path?
More in-person gatherings.
Mm.
I'm really hungry for speaking to people, seeing people in person, I've missed that. Although I don't necessarily miss it for the meetings because I live a long way away and not driving in at 6 o'clock at night is kind of nice for me. But I
Yeah.
do miss the opportunity to have a side conversation with someone, to catch up with someone, and the kind of spontaneous things that happen when you're in person.
And I think where is she? She here? Oh, Margot's, she was doing a good job in planning activities like they did on the 6th of January at 1 o'clock to go to the cistern exhibit and see, that would be something I would have gone if it had been on a Sunday, but I still work, so I can't go. But so I think more events of social gatherings would be nice and keep the meetings and in the daytime. I like that because I too live a drive away. Everybody lives kind of not, but if it's something in the daytime, it makes it so conducive for everyone to, that would drive more like they'll drive in the daytime more than like 7 o'clock. It's dark, so I'm not gonna.
Well, and the traffic is just the worst. So Elaine, getting back to your comment. So there was the cistern one, there was the Manil, but we've also had workshops.
Workshops.
Which I think a workshop is kind of where I got to know Rosario and Jean.
Yes, last February.
Yeah, well, with the bio writing workshop, and then
I was there.
some of us made fools out of ourselves with the contour drawing workshop. Well, some people did a really good job. But so are you thinking more of the cistern, Manil, have lunch kind of thing, or more workshops?
Well, actually both. I mean, last year I went to the tea and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to the contour drawing, but I got COVID, so I had to miss that. But I enjoy doing different things. In a workshop, you're not going to get a lot of talking time unless you build in, come early or stay late. So the social occasions are where you can speak to the individual that you want to speak to and, catch up.
So every year at the Portrait by the Bay reading last year, we went to lunch afterwards, and I think everybody, there was there you could have what you want, a beer, but you could, or there are other restaurants that you could, do something, have a glass of wine, if you don't want to go, you could, which makes it fun. You go and it's everything was in like a block away or 2 blocks away or whatever. And we got a chance to visit. Isn't that right, Melanie?
Right. And the Manil was a similar situation. We
Right,
walked to
that's it.
the most expensive restaurant within walking distance and had a nice lunch.
Right, that's it.
It was,
I mean,
but it was still nice. I mean, it was still nice. It was, yeah, every once in a while you can splurge. But
Well, I think
That's a
I
good
wanted-
idea because, you know, we used to go to dinner, not everybody, but people would go to dinner after the meetings in person.
that's what it used to be. I remember
So,
that.
because of
Yeah.
the time of day that had been, because people hadn't had dinner, you know, we would go nearby to dinner. And so
Right.
that could be a good substitute. It could be visual
Yes.
things like gallery hop.
Mhm.
you
Jean
know.
is raising. Jean is raising.
Jean is raising her hand.
Jean,
like
go
a good
ahead.
student.
Yeah, Jean.
I just want to say that Margot has done a heck of a job of putting
yeah.
a bunch of things together for us.
Yeah.
And it's been really good. And I think that the main thing is getting the word out and reminding people over and over again. Because I the same as with the meetings. I forget, and I may have it on my calendar, but I don't think about it until the last second.
Oh, I double
So-
booked myself.
Yeah, remind.
My alarm on.
I think, Jean, I think you make a fantastic point with the remind. And there's something on one of the board meetings that I brought up in the past about text reminders, because emails
Yes.
easy to miss, especially if you're like me and you have 4 email accounts that are all running out of storage. So the
Yeah.
default's in your work email account. But the text reminders, those are great, like a day before and then the day of. And I think also like Margot's, her the programs, workshops, events she's offered are great. But I think, and I wish Eliza was here, but we were discussing this, but I think also being able to offer a variety of times with the programming, and Gladys, you know, there's like, if you work full time and I wanted to go to the Manil thing so bad, but that was in the middle of the day and I work a full-time job. So
That's it.
I couldn't do that, you know? So then like, so maybe, you know, for the next year and the year after, we can plan maybe offering programs or events that maybe people within WiVLA want to get together and do something. And then we can like, hey, we're getting together to do this. The other women in WiVLA want to join us. It doesn't have to come directly from the board. Sorry, go ahead, Jean.
Okay, well,
Sort of
my
like
other
interest group.
my other suggestion is that if we put together a sort of a resource list, because I don't know that I've seen anything like that through WiVLA. There's a bunch of organizations here in town where we could be getting more information if we just had like a list.
So the website.
website.
Natalie's not on
On
here.
the website.
Yeah,
But,
Natalie's not
but
on here.
things like glass tire and I don't know, and
We talked about that.
fresh arts.
There is a resource list on the website, the WiVLA website. And, you know, that might not be a bad idea to start one of our, maybe the first meeting of every year with a tour of the WiVLA website, sharing the screen, or if
That
we're
would be
meeting in
awesome.
person, having someone show it on a screen. Because it's just like me working on a college campus and in a library, the number of times I tell students a day or I ask them, did you read the signs posted in the copy room? No. people tend to just not even look at them unless you walk them to it and you point and you read everything to them from the signs. So just raising an awareness about everything that is there on the website, maybe that's an idea for opening meetings.
Yeah.
Anything else? Suggestions, ideas you have for WiVLA to help you in your path?
I think resource wise, something that I wanted in the very beginning was, and this is for the visual artists, and it's not as much of this anymore, but you know, there used to be a lot of restaurants and stuff that showed artwork. And you know, if we put together a list of places, non-traditional places, not galleries,
Mm.
you know, that you could investigate to doing that if people know of any.
Right. That would be cool.
I
Yeah.
wanted that years ago.
Okay.
You know, Rona brought up a good point when she mentioned the Echo Award. And I was fortunate to win it in 2010 or 11, and it really helped me a lot. It paid for a developmental editor for my book and moved me hugely forward.
That's
But
what I said.
that amount of money has not changed for almost 30 years. And
Yeah.
maybe it's time that we increase the amount of the Echo Award.
Because it covered a lot more back then.
Yeah, it was
I
a
couldn't do
huge
that.
award in 1995 or 2000 even. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of money, but what it did for what it was intended to do, it can't quite do in this economy.
Right. Okay. No,
Well,
that
just
is a
don't
very
buy
good
eggs.
good point. Huh?
Just don't
Just
buy
don't buy
eggs.
eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, don't buy eggs. That's
Maybe,
it.
maybe we could get back. I know that.
Okay,
you
we're
know, we
we're
used to give
getting
a
some very
scholarship.
very good feedback and ideas.
Well, we used to give a scholarship and that went to a high school kid, I think, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And then
Do
that
we
got
still
dropped
do that?
because they didn't come present for us. Or,
Mhm.
and
Got
because
to
of
present
various-
the award one year and it was fabulous. I mean, you know, there was in an auditorium that was just filled with parents and students, and the work was so excellent.
Excellent. Yeah.
Right.
So maybe we can look at that if we have extra funds again.
Okay.
Look at some kind of college scholarship or, you know.
Well, I think like membership participation would have to increase so we can get more money in, right?
Right.
And then maybe WiVLA needs to look at other ways to raise money. Like, do we have someone design a shirt that we sell? I know I would love to wear a really great WiVLA shirt and advertise for the organization, but also, you know, I'd be happy to pay $25, $30 for a shirt. So those are all, I think, great ideas to talk about raising money for the scholarships. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but when we were discussing in our groups how we found out about WiVLA, and I was telling my story about how Jane introduced me to WiVLA or invited me to join WiVLA. I ended up doing an oral history project on WiVLA, and I interviewed Jane and I wrote a paper, and it's in the archives, U of H, and I went through all of the WiVLA archives working on this project. But the reason why I picked WiVLA to do the project on is because of the advertisement for the show inspired by her quote. Never underestimate the impact, the value of a really great bookmark advertising a show, because as a reader, it's that bookmark that caught my eye, and there was a stack of them in the Honors College at the University of Houston. Yes, that one. And that grabbed my attention, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do my project on this organization. So I think like that's something else we should do again, advertising the collaboration shows with a bookmark. That's really great.
Yes. I have this, I was going to bring it to the planning meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, the board, besides having our monthly meetings, we annually at the beginning of the year, we'll have a planning meeting just to make sure we've got our focus set for the year and make specific goals. So yes, this was one thing I have in my little pile for the planning meeting.
Fantastic.
One year we
Nice.
did.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Year
Whoops.
Yes.
I was going to
One
ask a
year.
question. Okay, I was going to ask a question about why did you all decide to separate the collaborations as far as like last year, of course, we did the together, the art and the writing, or the visual and the writing, but this year it's just going to be the visual. Why the separation?
We've done, I don't know when that started, way years before
Yeah.
me, but it alternates years. 1 year is the collaboration, 1 year is the visual. And when
But the
it's
cool
just the
thing,
visual, that's a juried show.
but this year, the cool thing is there's also going to be a literary competition. So there'll be
Yes,
both. So literary is going to get fair shake
They're-
as well. So they just won't be
exactly.
collaborative.
Okay. I
Right.
was just wondering. Thank you.
So yeah, I'm
I-
sorry. That's just the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
We used to do collaboration every year.
Okay,
Oh.
I don't know when.
Oh,
It
did you?
changed. It
Okay.
changed before I joined.
Oh, yeah, it's a long
Okay.
time ago. And
Okay.
then we would have a show at the printing museum, which is where we used to hold our meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that, we had a space. So it made
Right.
it easier, I guess.
What has happened to the print museum?
They
Does
just
Jerry.
anyone know?
relocated. They've
what?
relocated somewhere. I mean, they're still going, but I don't remember what the new address is.
They
Oh,
moved, yeah.
okay.
They're moving close to Match, I think.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
have moved, they're open.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up, Jerry, and get back to you. Yeah. I know the pandemic put a little bit of a spoke in our wheels, a few times, or a wrench in our wheels, but I know in the years that I had joined, and then even the years where I was just getting your newsletter, that we did a good job of having literary events. There were literary readings at different stores. There were
Mhm.
we did a good job. We just maybe the pandemic has upset the balance a lot, but we always focused on the collaboration being a really big thing every 2 years, because you kind of have to give it a build up. You have to have that time to plan and to get your perspectives out for the collaborators to work together. But we were doing a good job of doing both things, the visual and the literary. So I'm sure we can get back to that. Yeah.
We
Yes, we're
almost
really
always,
Well, there was the professor from the Honors College just now. And years ago, we did a collaboration with the Department of Women's Studies Archives. And so we had I did a piece on Kathy Whitmire. Everybody took some famous woman or some woman in the archives, all the writers. And it was just a really wonderful event. And it was so cool to be able to go into the archives and look at all the different things in the Kathy Whitmire, I know her boxes. They even had her Reagan High School. She was on the marching team. So it was the tiniest little red uniform I've ever seen. And
the way they used to handle the visual and writing is when they had the visual show, they would have a simultaneous writing show so that the writers would have the same theme, but they would not collaborate with an artist. They would do their own thing. And quite often we had a reading on the opening night of the show. The writers would do a reading that was in conjunction with the show. And that was the standard way we did it for many years. If you had a show, a visual show, you also had a literary show that went with it. And a chapbook. We have a lot of chapbooks.
Yeah.
we used to have chat books.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I wonder why they stopped doing that. They weren't doing that when I joined.
Well, it may be just that, one board didn't have the wherewithal to pull it together, or, sometimes you lose institutional memory, and it takes having someone, some of us old timers who were on the board in 2010 and 2009, to be able to fill in the blanks of institutional history. But, you know, always available to talk about it if you want to ask me questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd like to reach out to you and get together and pick your brain.
We used to have a historian on
So
our
what?
board.
Yes,
I
that
was historian.
position is still there. We're just
Haven't been able to fill
right
it.
now we do not have a historian, a treasurer, or a vice president.
Ooh, that's tough.
We,
I just
hey,
wanna
Lane,
say-
but you know what, Lane? If we could get a newsletter editor, then our current newsletter editor would be filling in for the treasurer. So how do you feel about being the newsletter editor?
I have done that, sweetie. I'm done.
Just thought I'd ask.
I've been the treasurer, I've been the vice president, I've been the president, I've been membership, and I've been newsletter. I don't know if you can really entice me anymore.
Okay.
Have you been
Was
historian?
one of the historian was one of the easier jobs if anybody wants to be on a board and have one of the
Well, I was
easier
gonna say,
jobs.
historian's an easy job if you don't actually do anything, like if you don't do what an historian does for an organization.
You know
or
what?
not.
I actually, there was one year there was a lot for the person to do. But then after that, the boxes, you know, people brought me the stuff to the boxes and I took them to the archives.
I have boxes in my studio. Boxes.
Yeah, and I mean, I catalog things in a spreadsheet for WiVLA, so in 2018, so. And
all of that used to go to the archives once a year.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
what the historian was in charge with.
Okay.
Organizing that and putting it in the archives. Taking it to
Okay.
the archives.
Still don't have one.
So have we fully covered those three questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of good information. I appreciate y'all being so open about this.
Yeah.
And okay. So it's you as members, do you have any member news that you would like to share?
I will
Is
have,
your or
I was gonna say, I have a couple of videos that will be in the Real Poetry Film Festival next month.
Mhm.
So I will get something to the newsletter. I'm hoping that one of the videos, which will screen at the Aurora Picture Show, I'm hoping that the website will be live by the 20th. But if not, I'll still send in what I have.
Okay.
Okay, and I have a piece in the upcoming show at the Art Car Museum.
Oh, me
Oh,
too.
wonderful.
Me too.
And
yeah, cool.
I had a piece just accepted into the Conroe Art League show. The juror for it was the same one who was the juror for the show that got burned out at Winter Street. I can't remember now what the title of it was. But yeah, so it was kind of interesting.
Dreamscapes.
Thank you, Dreamscapes.
Yes.
I was able to retrieve my Dreamscape pieces. Yeah.
Okay. Gladys, you're muted.
Oh.
Didn't leave, guys.
Okay. On March 25th, I will be doing another STEP workshop, and I'm going to get some information to the newsletter tonight. I'm going to try to. It's already out there. The cost is there. What the workshop is about, thanks to all the writings that were done last January. It's the writings, and it was a good workshop. I've already sold tickets and shocking. I did one speech and one pitch, and got some sales. So my tickets are, which I'm grateful, are going quickly, and I'm grateful. So if y'all would like to attend, I'm having problems with the Eventbrite, but if you do Zelle or PayPal, I will write your name on the ticket and I will have it at will call. The ticket does include the 71-page workbook and lunch that's going to be a lunch that it's really a delicious lunch that's going to be served. And because of the feedback that I received Last year, I'm gonna have a little bit more time. This time, men are invited to come. That was a dynamic in church, and that I had about 3 men that wanted to come, and I go, yeah, they want to come. So men are invited, and as I said before, on the March the 18th, I will be being interviewed by KWWJ. It is a gospel Christian radio station that is picking this up. And what's happening, I haven't even advertised to anybody except for me doing one reading at one thing. And so I'm thinking it's going to go out really well. So that's why I've already booked another day to do a second one on April the 1st, which is April Fool, at the same restaurant, the same time, because I will be interviewed for about 20 minutes on the radio station, and it encompasses Galveston, Seabrook, Baytown, Houston. So a lot of people get a chance, and I'm going to read some of my work, and I'm going to be answering some very tough questions, so the audience will get a chance to know who I am and what my work is about. So on that, so I'm hoping that some WiVLA members are coming. As I said, I'm going to send this to the newsletter, and it's going to have the Evite to pay. But I got technology problems. But but I'm trying to fix it. But everything else will be there. So I hope to see some of y'all out. And
I did want to mention, and I will send this to the newsletter because my computer is about to die, but one of our past WiVLA members, Sharon Bippis, is doing, I booked her to do a program prior to Holocaust Remembrance Day, and she's doing a Holocaust poetry program, Poetry of the Holocaust, Bearing Witness Through the Arts, and that is on Monday, January 23rd at 11 a.m. That is in person at Lone Star College Sci Fair. And then I also posted a flyer PDF on in the chat on Wednesday, January 25th. Before International Holocaust Remembrance Day, I'm going to be doing a panel program and Q&A with the founders of the Holocaust Remembrance Association. So if that's something you are interested in attending, I'll send the link and the information for both of those events next week to Sabina. So hopefully we can share with the women of WiVLA.
So are those, wait, those are before February though, right?
March, she said.
Oh, no, these are these are next week. So I'm talking about sending the information just to there with the listserv.
Okay. Yeah, and you can also post it on our Facebook group too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Anyone else?
I posted that the Winter Street fundraiser. I shared that on WiVLA, I'm sure. And I bet some other people did too. That's this weekend.
I think a lot of the artists at Sawyer Yards have donated art for the fundraiser for the Winter Street artists. I've got a piece there too.
Oh, wonderful.
So, yeah,
not there yet, but it's going tomorrow. So
you can buy art and do good at the same time. And 100% of the sales is going to the fundraiser.
Fun, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I'm fading fast.
all right. Well, I guess we're going to close out. I appreciate everyone's participation. And
this is
I
great.
survived. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you next
Bye.
week.
Good night,
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.